Um, so, trusting in the Lord, not easy all the time. And sometimes we don't even know that we're not trusting in the Lord. That's the problem. That's one of the worst problems. And I found myself recently in a place where the Lord revealed to me that I'm not as good in this area that I thought that I was, and that it could be one of the utmost greatest things that is holding me back from close proximity and a son relationship with Jesus. So finance has been a little tough. I'm in a full commission job, selling cars. If you don't sell, you don't make any money at all. I went a week and a half, didn't sell a thing. I'm just contemplating my life. I got here early because I didn't think anybody would be here on Wednesday. Sure enough, there's a lot of people here at like 6 o'clock. I come up and I'm just sitting upstairs and I'm reading through James 4. And I get to this spot where it says, "But he gives more grace, therefore," he says, "God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble." And then I stopped and I felt like I was shocked, and I said, "Lord, are you resisting me?" And I didn't hear him say yes. I felt instead he opened up my mind to all the ways that I'm prideful. And it shocked me at how prideful that I truly am. And I'm not trying to throw the Paul thing where I'm like, I'm more prideful than all of you guys. I'm the worst of the worst sinner of anything like that. But I am incredibly, incredibly prideful. The way that I express it might not outwardly show the world that I'm very prideful, but in the way that I build myself up, the way that I measure myself, the way that I prepare myself or just think or see myself in various areas, he was just opening up my mind to all these avenues and little ways that I am incredibly, incredibly prideful and lean on my own strength because I think that I'm so special and I think that I'm gifted enough to get along without him. It's like I take a little slivers from the Lord and then I go on my own because I think that I'm gifted and talented enough to be able to just do this by myself. And he certainly was resisting me. I read on, it said, "Therefore submit to God, resist the devil and he will flee from you. Draw near to God and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Lament and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to gloom and your joy to gloom. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord. He will lift you up." That's not easy to do sometimes. So I find myself in the fact that I'm very wise in my own eyes. So I started repenting. And in the days to come, I started seeing some breakthrough in some very tangible ways. I started resisting myself and my own strength and really leaning on him, humbling myself and just saying, "Lord, this day is all yours. Help me out. I don't know what I'm doing." Many times I've been praying that the Lord would give me a fish instead of teaching me how to fish. Lord, as a son, you should be teaching me and I should be a student to my rabbi, that you would just be developing me. But in order to do that and be a student, you have to be humble in order to do that. And in that, he teaches you how to fish, but he also gives you fish too. He's done both for me this week. On Friday morning, during prayer meeting, Matt was telling us to write some stuff out. We wrote some stuff out. I wrote a lot about pride, my self-sufficiency, this "I'll figure it out, I'm wise enough, I take it into my own hands when things get tough. I'm talking myself through problems alone. I'm not praying rightly that way. I'm building myself up in my own mind, not letting him build me. I know best, therefore I'm blindness to my need for him. I'm just like, I think I'm good. I think I'm humble enough. I think I'm wise enough. I'm going to figure this out. Wrote a lot of stuff down. It's particularly about pride. I asked the Lord to forgive me, and then I prayed, and he spoke to me. He said, "Will you trust me even if you can't see? Your blindness requires greater closeness to me." Will you trust me even if you can't see? Your blindness requires greater closeness to me. And I was like, okay, I don't want to do what I always do and it's like the Lord is handing me a baton, except it's a scroll of all of his wisdom. And I'm grabbing it, and I tear off like a corner of it. I'm like, thanks, and I bolt off. And then he's like, dude, you forgot the whole thing that you came here for. So I sat in that moment a little longer, and I said, Lord, speak to me again. I closed my eyes. I didn't hear words, but I saw like somebody had a light in front of you while your eyes were closed. You could see through your flesh that there's light in front of you. So I was perplexed with this because it's not the fact that I was actually blind. It was that I was willing to trust him by seeing through my flesh that he's right there. And because I can see through my flesh, voluntarily keeping my eyes closed to my own wisdom, closing my flesh off, that I can still see him just enough for him to provide, for me to be submitted, for me to have to wholeheartedly trust in him so that I can follow in that. And also not take any credit for myself. That's something I've struggled with when it comes to performance-based acceptance. I've killed off the need for acceptance. Say my performance isn't the reason I'm accepted and loved. However, I have kept the performance and I've killed off the acceptance. But I keep on striving in the performance. So a quick testimony. It was Friday. I have this finance manager. He speaks Spanish. He's very hard guy to submit to. It seems like everything that he does, he tries to make you look stupid. He tries to humble you. He's a baller. Very good at negotiating. But he also he flaunts it, tries to make you look and feel very little. So I see this car coming in the lot, and I run out there, and they drive by me, and I'm waving at them, and I run around to the other side. I'm like, you're not getting away from me. I finally wave them down. They turn around, they roll their window down, they say, me no speak English. And I'm like, I have a guy that speaks Spanish. I'll go get him for you. So go get him. My manager pretty much does this entire sale. I didn't have to do anything. I got a few things that he asked me to get because he's kind of translating. I went on a test drive with the guy. I got out Apple Translator, worked pretty good, but I couldn't really have like a full conversation. I had almost like nothing to do with the sale except give this guy the keys, let him drive it, sit in the car awkwardly with him because we couldn't really talk very well. Went back. They did the paperwork. It was like a 5 or 6 hour process with this guy, and he sold him this truck. Somebody comes up to me later and is like, dude, you made bank on that truck. I'm like, I didn't do anything. It's like, how much was it? He's like, dude, you made $1,000 off of that truck. I'm like, dude, I didn't do anything. And it was just this revelation after the Lord showed me this that allowed me to walk into this place of yielding, trusting, remaining blind to myself so that he could move and provide for me. God resists the proud. That's actually his kindness to resist me. It's his kindness to resist us, but gives grace to the humble. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he will lift you up. Man, what does that look like? At Upper Room, one of the most frequent words that we heard was the worst thing to happen to Upper Room would be for it to become cool. Why? Because God resists the proud and he gives grace to the humble. If in their own eyes they became cool, if they're in their own eyes they had it figured out, they would lose the grace of the Lord on them. So from this being from me to us, I feel just a call for the greatest submission that we've ever had. We have every reason to be as humble as possible. The Lamb of God. If there was a lamb of Zach, I would say, this is my lamb, it pays for my sins, right? The Lamb of God is God. The Lamb of God looks at himself, he says, there's not my sins, but the sins of the world that need to be paid for. What am I going to do? I don't have a lamb, but I have my son. The Lamb of God is the Son. And even to that extent, he was born in Nazareth. He wasn't born into royalty. He was born in poverty, born into a blue-collar worker. He grew up in a town where nobody really cared for him. He's just a normal guy. He didn't exalt himself in any way, any form, ever his entire life. But the Lord was so with him the entire time. He never looked at himself and said, I need to build myself up. It's in sonship and being a daughter that we just fully rely on the Lord to build us up in every single way. And that's where I've been going so wrong. What I want to warn us against is how easy it is to fall out of humility, grab the corner of the baton, the scroll of the baton and run. Is that there's two things in my experience that take you out of that grace of the Lord, and that is the exaltation that the Lord gives you. You get exalted a little bit, you get that word, or you get a little bit of breakthrough, you get $1,000 off of a car that you had nothing to do with, and you're like, sweet, okay, I'm going to keep on doing what I was doing. No. You don't keep doing what you were doing. You let him keep doing what he was doing. You keep submitting. You get your face even lower, because that exaltation that he just gave you makes it even more challenging and even more of a sacrifice for you to dig your forehead into the ground. And you lay yourself down and get lower, because now it actually takes work to submit. The Lord, in my past with my business and whatnot, that humbled me because I was prideful. And that destruction of my business forced me to the floor in humility. And then there was little ups and downs. You know how it went. The exaltation, you have to get even lower on purpose. The struggle, you have this exaltation, you think that you're doing a good job, but then there's a little hiccup, a little struggle, or a little lull where you feel like he's not there for you in the way that he should have been. Then that's a call for you to try to put it back into your own strength again, instead of keep digging your forehead into the ground. And I just want to call on all of us that we would be a church in the coming season of reaping and exaltation that I am certain that we are going to reap the benefits of because of the humility of the Millennium Falcon here. That this humility that we have been thrust into is a humility that we need to maintain the warehouse kind of heart. Into this beautiful place that we're going to, that's going to, on the exterior and the interior, look very, very beautiful. It's going to fulfill our needs in great ways. We're not, of course, looking at ourselves and saying, man, we did it. And I don't think that's anybody's heart, but it's going to be easy to do that as people flood the doors, as tithes come in, as people praise you because you're changing their life, because he's pressing his wisdom on you and you're overflowing with the abundance of God, that they're going to praise you for that. And you're going to have to take it and you're going to have to redirect them and redirect your heart to give it back unto the Lord and dig your forehead even more so into the ground. And in the exaltation, it's going to be even more challenging in this coming season than it's ever been before. So let's lean into understanding that the Lamb of God is the most humble, the most humble of all time. We have every reason in sight of him to be humble in every facet of our life. So let's go get humble. Let's go get on the floor. And let's give him all the praise. It's all on him. He wants it that way.